might fall short. It does. Really wasn't hit with any kind of conviction, not off the middle of the bat. Looked like the toe to me. And what are we having here? Another interruption. This time it looks a little bit heavier because the players are just sprinting off, and so are the covers that are coming onto the field. So the rain looks a bit heavier. Yeah, there was a... Yes, it is much, much heavier. And the ground staff struggling to get those covers in. I tell you, they're pretty heavy. Very, very, very heavy. With wet covers are not easy to drag, but they've done well. They've covered the square now. But still a lot more to be done. But this rain, Arthur, is pelting down.
No, this is very heavy. Not a good sight for the cricket lovers. They do manage to get the covers in very, very quickly. But what matters is when the rain stops, only that gives the groundsman the opportunity to start play. This is getting very, very heavy indeed. Well, it's good to see the way Mushfiqur Rahim came after that short break. Russell Domingo has had enough. He wants to head back to the dressing room. Right, the news from here is not good. Rains have started again in a heavy fashion. And the groundsmen are bringing in the covers to ensure that it stays as dry as possible. They've moved on to 213 for 7. Bangladesh, when there was a stoppage of play, the score of 196 for 7. So there was a couple of boundaries from the bat of Mushfiqur Rahim, who's gone on to score 96. This is the bowling figures from Sri Lanka.
Yes, Shanaka and Dhananjay combined has been a bit expensive, but the rest of the bowling has been good. Sandakan's done his bit. He's there to get wickets, and that's exactly what he's done. 2 for 27 for Chamir. Udana was steady later on. And, Hasaranga, very impressive yet again. So this has been a good bowling effort by the Sri Lankans. Maybe with the exception of Dasun Shanaka and Dhananjay De Silva. But for now, I think there's very little we have. In fact, just the covers on the field and rain stopping play. So we're going to take a short break, and hopefully this rain will be as brief as the previous one.
He was waiting for that.
Dushman Chamira. Right arm over. Right-handed batsman, a couple of slips in for him. Have a look at what happened in the last ball of the last over.
There wasn't much width here. And I think Tamim's decided that whatever width there is going to be, he's going to take the job. And a couple of balls that just didn't quite come onto the bat as he probably would have liked in that first over. And that's the reason why he's decided he's going to go up and over.
Oh, good. He's honing in very early in his over, and that's a good sign because the wicket, of course, conducive, I feel, to the batters. Reason why Tamim Iqbal elected to bat first. And as a bowler, you want to get into your rhythm and your accuracy as quickly as possible. It's a little wayward in the last over, but Dushmanta Chamira has fallen into the groove very nicely in his first two deliveries. And that strike to the slip fielder. He enticed Liton Das to have a nibble at that. Excellent bowling and the first wicket down.
Well, it's a good delivery because he's just got it to go away right at the last moment and a good length. Not a good shot and a good catch. Leighton Das just hanging the bat out to dry really outside the off stump. And because of that, it's caused his demise. He's gone for no score. Bangladesh 5 for 1.
Early success for Sri Lanka. Taking a wicket in the second over brings in Shakib Al Hasan. 210th match for him. Wonderful numbers, over 6,000 runs at a good average of 38 and a decent strike rate. 48 50s, 900s. Maybe that conversion could do with a little bit of improvement. More longer inningses. He's not going to be interested in that. But some excellent bowling right from the word go. Achieved that wicket for Chameera. A rather lazy looking shot. Really something that could have been avoided early on in the innings. Leighton Das was enticed into it. Fell for it and he's back in the hut without bothering the scorers. They are a happy lot, and why not? Well, look a little pensive.
Just a hint of shape. Back into Shakib Al Hasan. And he's had a good start. Dushmanta Chameera. A little bit more pace on the ball than Udana in that first over. That's the man who took the catch, Dhananjaya De Silva, and went quickly. And that's a nice shot. And he's just leant onto that and opened the face and taken advantage of that offside field.
Such a nicely executed shot. See the way it just opens the face of the bat, just gets the middle part, absolute control over that shot, sees the ball coming onto the bat, and just not really trying to hit it too hard, just ensuring that it rocketed away to the boundary. 9 for 1. Well, once again, Udana makes Tamim Iqbal play not a very convincing looking shot there. Fell for it, he's struggling with his timing, and of course the fall of his partner early on will make him a little more suspicious of what's being offered from the Sri Lankan bowlers. But he's such a fighter, such an experienced player. Now it's getting to his nerves a little bit.
Yeah, Udana certainly hasn't been himself so far today. We saw the boundary from Tamim on the last ball of his first over when there was a bit of width given. He was very quick to throw the hands at it and take advantage. He certainly looks now like he's ready to take him on. If that ball's got a bit of width on it.
Yes, and what the bowler will try to do is try and bowl it as close to the body and cramp Tamim Iqbal. Once again, this is good from the two stalwarts. The running between the wickets, the understanding's got to be sorted out very early in your innings. You know what the call is, what the response is. It's just going wide of the fielder. They just ran through. Let's have a look at this again. Yes, on his back foot still with that call from Shakib. Made it look reasonably simple.
Yeah, the key was the early call of yes. Had he hesitated slightly, he could have been in trouble. Was it a direct hit?
Intention seems to be just the enticement outside the line of off. He's getting a bit of bounce off the track, decent enough bounce. bounce hasn't really bothered the batters except for one delivery in the very first over. Seems to be intent on trying to get Shakib Al Hasan just to play a shot away on the offside, beat him on the height of the wicket.
Talked about the surface today. Seems like probably not quite coming onto the bat as you would like. This is the surface. Fair bit of grass on it. And it is dry grass. And because of that, the ball maybe just can hold up on that, getting a bit of a spongy effect on the surface. Other than that, underneath it's pretty dry. It's been extremely warm, so not much moisture in that surface. Oh, that goes 2 bounces through to the keeper.
He slowed it down. It was down to 122.2. So that's a good mix, and he's persisting with that line outside the off stumps. Not really been able to get a little closer. I think he wants to just try and get the batsman to play at it. They've been content to let the balls go through. Now he's lashed onto that one, but it's found the fielder in the deep. It's going to result in a single of the last ball of the third over. It's 12 for 1. Bangladesh batting first here in the first ODI of this 3-match series against Sri Lanka. Early success for Sri Lanka. Liton Das back in the hut. Last time that Shakib Al Hasan batted at number 3 was in the 2019 World Cup. There's quite a bit of gap in between. And I think he likes that slot. He's made it abundantly clear that he likes batting at number 3.
Wow. He scored a bucket load of runs in that World Cup. In that position. Oh, sublime from Shakib Al Hasan.
He's looking good, isn't he? Just the way he played that shot, oozing with confidence, but well, he'll be a little disappointed with the result, I suppose. Hello. Well, it wasn't offing. Every time the batsman wants to take the ascendancy, you would expect that kind of a riposte from the bowler.
Typical fast bowler's reaction. This is a couple of ago. Shakib Al Hasan out the middle of the bat. And it's literally got to that man, Bandara, before he's realized it. A metre either side, and that was definitely another boundary for him.
Well, the Sri Lankans are going to be pretty happy in restraining the Bangladeshi batters to 3.27, the current run rate, into the fourth over. Really can't take advantage of the power play with the 2 fielders outside the 30-yard circle. Particularly, Ishmanta Chamira has been very, very impressive with his accuracy.
I don't think it's just the accuracy only. He's got good pace behind the ball. Saw that bouncer a couple of deliveries ago. The catch that was taken off Liton Das. Ball really carrying through on the surface for Chamira.
Well, talking about his speeds, he's just stepped on the gas. Last one, 143.4 kilometers per hour. So generating a bit of pace here, not making it very easy for the Bangladeshi batsman to negotiate. But early days, early in the innings, you can afford to bide your time. You can afford to be selective with your shot making. Don't want to throw your wicket away. A bit short, bit wide, gives the opportunity this time. Chase on, good commitment. And good throw back in. Couple of runs to finish the over. After 4, 14 for 1. Liton Das, disappointingly, back in the hut without bothering the scorers. Went early, just fishing at a ball outside the line of off stump. Paying the price, Dhananjaya De Silva taking a good catch of the bowling of Chamira, who's been very impressive this afternoon. Surudana back for his third over. So the lone slip in now for Tamim Iqbal. Oh, almost got him to just play away from his body. It's a good thing maybe he opened the face of the bat wider than he normally does, just going past the face.
Yeah, certainly hasn't been the Tamim Iqbal that we know of at the top of the innings today. Just looking a little bit out of sorts, hasn't got his timing. But this is his career. 14,000 runs he's eclipsed now in international cricket. And that's across all formats. And the first Bangladeshi to do so.
Well done to him, and I'm sure if he knows about it, but don't think it's going to bother him. What is going to be important to him is add to those 14,000 plus runs in this innings. Every innings matters so much. 214th match for him. Best of 158 in this format. Though he's struggling a bit, but I tell you what, once he gets into his rhythm, gets into his zone, he's going to be pretty good to watch. But at the moment, he's searching for it.
He looks frustrated. This time Tamim Iqbal. What's important for him is to make sure that he forgets about what's happened before. The mistimed strokes, that last delivery. Put that aside and try and just focus. Maybe go back into your shell a little bit. Start to play the ball into the gaps. Drop and run, get to the other side, and that way just build some confidence.
Every time the ball is directed to the onside or down the leg side, he's going to just whip it away. That will just release a bit of the pressure. Just one loose delivery and immediately takes advantage of it.
That'll help. Sliding down the leg side, closing the face of the bat on it. Of course, the man is up at 45 because there's a man behind square on the boundary. And once it got past him, this good quick outfield, got himself a 4.
Interesting to see the slip fielder going into more of a second slip position now because of the width that he's offering. Udana is tucking him in with that accurate delivery. It's been an odd mix so far from Isuru Udana. It's been wayward, down the offside, down the leg side. Few deliveries have honed in into the right areas. Just needs to correct and be little more consistent. Take a leaf out of Dushyant Chamira's bowling. Pace bowlers hunt in pairs normally. Tend to see one softens up the batsman, other tends to take the wickets from the other end. Again, I think I'll give him the credit for saying that he left that. 5 overs done, 18 for 1. Hot and muggy here at the Srilanka National Stadium. Down the leg side, you're going to be punished for that. Easy pickings. All you have to do is swivel around and help the ball on its way to the boundary.
Any sort of bat onto the pace of Dushmanta Chimera is going to race away to the boundary. So the speeds in that last over, all in excess of 140 kilometers an hour. You've got to make sure that you get your radar right. Got it wrong on that occasion. And the form that this man has looked in, he's not going to miss out.
He slots back into a nice line. Only one occasion, I think, Dushmanta Chimera has erred in line and paid the price. Been by far the more consistent with his control of between the two bowlers on view.
It's good fielding. He certainly saved a boundary. What a nice shot from Shakib. The bit of extra pace from Chimera, a bit of more bounce as opposed to from Udana. Stood up on that nicely. Rode the bounce. He's looking in good nick.
Again, deviating down leg side. That's going to be signaled a wide. Really must be disappointing to the bowler after some very accurate bowling early on. Seems to be struggling with his line in this over.
You talked earlier on about the right-hand, left-hand combination and how it can be an advantage to the batting side. And probably just struggling with this line and length because he had to deal with that earlier on. It'll be easier for him now with two left-handers in. You'd